Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling a problem that is, let's be honest, incredibly frustrating. You create what seems like a brilliant AI output, it looks totally perfect, but the second it lands on the CFO's desk, it gets shot down. We're going to dig into exactly why that happens, and more importantly, how to fix it.
You've been there, right? You spent time crafting this perfect prompt, and the AI gives you back what looks like a flawless business case. But then, it gets to the finance department, and the answer is just a hard no. So what is going on? Why does this keep happening?
Well, here's the key, and it's actually good news. It's probably not the AI model that's failing. I mean, these models are ridiculously powerful. The real breakdown is surprisingly predictable, and it all comes down to how we're writing our prompts. This is a design problem, which, hey, that means we actually have the power to fix it.
Okay, so let's talk about that predictable failure point. These rejections aren't just random acts of corporate life. They follow a very clear pattern. Let's break down exactly where and why these outputs totally collapse when they face real business pressure.
First up, the classic business case. The AI generates this super detailed financial analysis, but the CFO rejects it flat out. Why? Well, it's because the assumptions behind those numbers are completely unverifiable. The AI kind of just made them up. And the ROI model it used, it doesn't even come close to the strict standards finance uses to evaluate risk and actually justify spending money.
Or how about this one? The sales email. The AI writes a really persuasive message, but the prospect? Crickets. Nothing. The email might sound amazing, but it fails because it's missing something critical. Proof. It doesn't use evidence that the prospect can actually go and check for themselves. It lacks that hard, credible data.
And finally, the marketing copy. You get the AI to generate a beautiful landing page. The language is great, but your conversions, they don't move. They just stay flat. And why is that? Well, the prompt asked for engaging language, and that's what you got. But it didn't ask for the specific actions that actually drive the business, like getting someone to book a demo.
So you're probably seeing the common thread here, right? The outputs are fluent, they look complete, they're really well structured, but for a decision maker like a CFO, they're also completely useless. We are accidentally prompting for polish and creativity when what we really need is decision-grade impact.
So, this brings us to a really important shift in thinking. Let's talk about the outcome-first formula. We have to stop describing the content we want and start specifying the business outcome we need. And there's a simple three-part formula to make that happen.
These three components, target KPI, constraint, and proof source, are absolutely non-negotiable. You need all three. When you use them together, they force the AI to stop being a clever creative writer and start acting like a real business strategist who's accountable for results.
First, the target KPI. This is all about what must change. This is not a vague task like write compelling copy. No, it has to be a measurable business movement. So instead of make it better, you say reduce the sales cycle by 10 days. I mean, think about it. If you can't measure whether the output even worked, how in the world is the AI supposed to optimize for it?
Second, you have to add real-world constraints. And don't think of these as limitations. Think of them as accuracy anchors. They prevent the model from just escaping into pure theory, and they force it to deal with the messy operational realities. You know, the exact things your CFO is actually worried about. Who's the audience? What resources do we have? What's the deadline? This is what grounds the output in reality.
And third, and this is so important, you have to define the proof source. You have to tell the AI exactly what counts as true. What evidence is it allowed to use? Can it just invent statistics? Absolutely not. But can it use the verified ROI models from your own finance team? Yes. This is what grounds the output in reality and makes it truly defensible.
And you know what? Defining the proof source is the one step that people skip the most often, and it's arguably the most critical. This single omission is precisely why so many impressive-looking outputs just instantly fall apart under any real scrutiny.
So let's make this really concrete. Let's see what this looks like in practice. We're going to compare a typical generic prompt to a really powerful outcome-first prompt, and you'll see the difference right away. Okay, check out this difference. The generic prompt is fine. Write a follow-up email for a CFO. But look at the outcome-first version. It specifies a KPI, increases meeting acceptance for a second call. It adds a trusted proof source, using our risk-adjusted ROI model as proof. And it even gives it a constraint, staying under 200 words. See? It's no longer just asking for an email, it's asking for a measurable business result.
Here's another great example.
We go from a super vague creative brief, create an ABM landing page for healthcare, to this tight strategic specification. The target is crystal clear, increases calculator usage, and the proof is locked down to verified metrics only. This is how you generate a business asset that can justify its own existence, not just some nice-sounding marketing copy.
So, all this sounds great in theory, but you're probably wondering, how do I actually put this into practice with my team? Well, it's way more straightforward than you might think. Here is a clear 4-week blueprint to get you started.
You can make this shift happen in just 4 weeks. Week 1, just audit your team's current prompts, see what's missing. Week 2, you build that crucial library of approved proof sources. Week 3 is all about training your teams on this formula. And by week 4, you're deploying and, critically, measuring the impact. This systematically moves your entire organization from just generating content to producing truly decision-ready assets.
And to help you put this into action, like right now, here's a simple cheat sheet. This template basically forces you to define the target KPI, list your real-world constraints, and specify your allowed proof sources every single time. It's a fantastic, reusable tool for crafting better prompts immediately.
So this all brings us to the final big question you need to ask yourself. Is your AI just a clever content generator, or is it a decision-grade collaborator? Because by adopting this outcome-first formula, you transform your AI from a tool that just produces plausible text into a core part of your strategic decision-making engine, one that produces work that can finally pass the CFO test.